requests of C# bootcamp, and only then I'll move on to actual Java. So just to warm off with C#. Why didn't I review this homework? I don't remember. Right, because it was quite, yeah. So init can be a constant. It was quite a long one, that's why I think I didn't review it. That's interesting. Highest balance. If highest balance is null, right? Okay, I see what is done here. Instead of making it nullable, use the smallest possible balance that there can be. For example, negative minus double dot max value. Like that, every number will be bigger than this one. Smiley face. Next. Right. Highest balance, person highest balance. Person highest balance ever. What is person of highest balance ever? Why is right? Okay, I see. Fair enough. The test is covering it, so I won't get deeper into the logic, just as long as it makes sense, which it does. If previous balance number or is not, next break. Okay, that's hard to understand, but at least the code explains something somewhat. Person with biggest loss is not found. Biggest loss. Max number. Sorry. Yeah. Min number. So what's the logic behind this? Burst information. If previous balance number or is next balance number. So if the number before this one and the next one is not a balance, you're breaking. You're stopping this iteration, moving to the next one. Why? Else, if biggest loss is null and biggest loss is that. Okay. If previous balance number or is next. Oh, right. Why does it matter what is going to be the next number? I plus 1, I minus 1 I expect somewhere. Is the previous. No. Oh, okay. Wait, so where's the previous? Why does it start at 1 and not at 0? Because the first one is name, and after that it's balances. Okay. Makes sense. Yeah, that's good. So it's not really previous, it's actually current balance number. So it's current and next. And by taking current balance from the next balance, sorry, by taking, yeah, current balance from the next balance, you actually see the loss. But it's not really a loss, it's a gain. Loss. So if I had $1 before and I took $2 away, it's -1. So my loss is -1. It's a bit inverted, isn't it? My loss is -1, so I actually gained 1. Well, makes sense. Okay, I won't complain. But it's a bit cryptic to read. Anyways, this is not previous balance. This is current balance. Find richest person. Again. Find most poor person. And I can say again the same thing. It's not major mistakes that are made, but those things help for writing better code. This looks awfully similar. Add border, add padding, add message. Exact same. Difference. Almost the same. So between those two, it's a nitpick, but I should mention, consider reusing similar parts of code. Whatever is similar should go under a function. Whatever is different should come as an argument. And that will be it. Should I approve or shall I request for changes? Well, what bothers me the most is the nullable thing, because it's really inefficient, and there's just a better way for finding the maximum. You don't need nullables. You can simply make this a very high or small value depending on what you are comparing to. So I will add that comment. Everything looks fine. except finding the min max. Consider using a very big, small initial value for comparison, for the first comparison, instead of null. Yeah, that was good. So changes needed. Next, homework 1. This is going to be easy. So what yeah, this is good. Weight length is actually height. The rest is, yeah, the rest is all good. I mean, looks good. Just be careful with how you name things. This was a very easy homework. I'm not paying much attention. I just see a small nitpick, but that doesn't make it an invalid homework, so all good. Completed. And we have 1, 2, 3, all is good. Close pull request, that is done. Next, homework 3. Homework 3 is very similar to homework 1. This is good. Your function, in order to understand what your demo does, I need to read through all of those lines. However, if you extracted the function body, I could simply read a single line, process, person, BMI, or similar, and immediately understand what demo does in high level. If I want to understand how process BMI works, then I will refer to the detail, the function, other function. Second person is missing. Are tests passing? I don't think tests are passing. I'm pretty sure they're not. How can they be passing if there's only one person? What the hell? What? It's not recursive. I didn't require for 2 people in the test. Really? That sucks. Taylor AI. How does my test look like? I said, yeah, I didn't really require it to be for 2 people. Second person is missing, but that's quite the nitpick. But I still think this is good enough for the homework, as it does what I asked. Like, he split stuff into functions for each, like reading height, weight, age, calculating BMI. So overall looks good enough. Approve. Boom. Complete. Close. That's done. Any more pull requests? Right. I like it. Only one is left. I added remarks. All is good. There's one issue. Ooh, nice. I recently ran into a situation with some learners that are having a hard time with C# primarily due to setup. Because of their desire to learn Unity, game development, exposure, to C# has been rough, as they don't really have patience to move through the initial setup of straight C# development. It would be really great if some intermediate beginner option that isolated the development environment setup from the language learning were available. I think that learning to set up the dev after getting their hands around the language for a while first would yield better results. That's a good idea. To integrate automated tests with .NET Fiddle. Yeah, this is a good idea. Yeah. Okay. Now back to Java. Java. Our favorite language, day 2. What will I learn today? Today my goals are as follows. Let me open the plan. Today I will focus way less on setting up environments and shit. Maybe I'll just add some comments to better understand what the hell I did. But other than that, I'll focus much more on the actual language and not some JSX bullshittery. Download. Let's have a look. So this is good. Var arg. Okay. Presentation console calculators. I'll just create the package per chapters that I'll be learning for now. Because let's say I learned a lot that I wanted to. So, fundamentals. Or rather, yeah, fundamentals. So, which is absolutely the same as C#, pretty much. So let's practice that. Let's make a class that calculates person's BMI. So you pass in a person or height and weight and calculates the BMI. Calculator. So I have BMI calculator. I'll also have a person class because I pass a person and it gets its height and weight. So private final weight, private final height, private final age, and each of those is a getter. There is no setter because I do it locally. And I'm missing a type. So weight is a float, height is a float, age is an int, and of course I'm missing a name. And I believe that I need to separate them like this. So a name, getter. And now let's have a constructor that takes in all those things. Actually, it doesn't take all those things. I don't want age to be something that I have as a field. I want it to be as a method, and instead, all I want is a birthday, actually. That can be retrieved, but I also want to be able to get a birth, like a age, actual age. So private final date time, date. I'm not sure what's the correct way of having date time in Java. Java date and time, local date, really? Local date. That's cool. Java does not have a built-in date class, but we can import Java time package to work with the date and time API. Okay. Many date and time classes, for example. Okay. Local date it is. That's cool. You get like a whole bundle of stuff for date. Please import. What's the difference? I don't know. Private final date, birthday. I also want to get birthday, of course. It's not date, it's local date. Maven Dependency? No. Import Java time local date. Import Java time local date. Oh, data. I'm stupid, sorry. Okay. Let's use ID. Is there any snippets? CTOR? I'd like to learn snippets as well. If there are any. Java snippets. No, that's horrible. 15 useful code snippets for Java developers. Really? Cout was one, right? Cout. Cout. Okay. Is there really nothing that ID does for me to generate stuff? This is literally... Yeah. Oh, nice. Cool stuff. Folding. Usages. Generate. Constructor. Ooh, ho, 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 look at that. Look at that. How? Oh, okay, I think I got it. Where the fuck is it? Generate. Generify. What the fuck does that mean? Okay, that's cool. Generate. Alt insert. If I press Alt insert, and say constructor for all of those, here we go. So there is that. And I also would like to have a, I don't know if Java has that pattern, but there's a cool pattern in C# that's called try parse or try something pattern. Let's see, does Java have try parse? Try parse in. Okay. So I have to make my own, which isn't bad for learning purposes. So public static person. I obviously don't want that. Obviously don't want that. Yeah, I don't want that. I just want to have a getter, public int, get birthday. Sorry, get age. How do I calculate age? So when I have local date passed, current, local date now is a static method. So I either pass a birthday, or I'll take one overloaded constructor when I don't pass a birthday, and I'll just say local date dot now, and that'll be it. So I can create a person, basically a newborn person, or I can create a person that is already born. And one thing that I've always been keen on, having the parameters that matter the most first. So obviously you are going to identify a person by name in this case. So name in this case is really important. Why is string not recognized? Is it string? Holy shit. So that is good. Actually, I just realized that my constructor here is literally the same as here. So how do you reuse constructors in Java? I don't care about object reuse. Reusing constructor in Java. Yes, please. This. In C#, it's exactly the same. So I should have tried it before Googling. So I don't need any of that except birthday. And this. Oh, it's inside brackets. Okay, that's the difference. All right. Name, weight, and height. This birthday is birthday. What's wrong with you? Variable birthday might have already been assigned to. Not final. But I want it to be final. But I want it to be final. Difficult choice. Birthday is definitely final. Oh, I get it. I get it. I get my mistake. But how do I enforce it? Because I need to assign it in either place. Oh, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Am I an idiot? I'm an idiot. So actually, this is supposed to be the opposite. Meaning which you can create a person like this with everything, or you can create it like this. So if I move it all here and delete it from there, and instead pass local date dot now, I actually have the same thing and I keep final. That's really cool. That's a very good example. I'll put a note to myself because this is pretty cool. Yeah. Good. So now we have both constructors, and I'm quite happy with the structure that is there because it literally fulfills the needs of the main. Because that's the person. Name, birthday doesn't change. Height, I think it should change. So I'll add setters and I will remove final. Those are fine if they change. But name, birthday, and age. Age is a variable, of course, so it changes. But the date itself, when you're born, it doesn't. So how do we calculate age? We say that birthday. So we first get current date. And we say that current date is local date dot now. And the age is a difference between those dates. So more like time since born. And let's see if we can do the same thing, the same operation that we did with, that we can do in C# with dates. So if I take current date and minus birthday, what do we get? We get nothing. It's impossible. It cannot be applied. Okay. So how do you do difference between dates in Java? And after this we'll test it. I'm quite excited actually. Java util date to find difference in days. Using, since Java 8, okay, Java 8, using Java time, the local difference, okay, period between, that's quite cool. I like the readability, even though it's a bit cancer, but it's still quite interestingly readable. Period between current date and the birthday is the answer. And what do we get returned? We get returned a period. So time, so it's not time since born, it's period since born. So period since born get years is the age Is it? Is it an integer? It is an integer. So would it work? How many years? H1. I think it would work. So let's return that. Cool. So this is date time. Difference. Well, it's obvious. Actually, it's obvious. I shouldn't write comments that are obvious even for learning purposes. They're absolutely dead obvious. Absolutely readable. So, okay. Let's test it. Fundamentals. Yeah, fundamentals. Let's go to tests and create a new module. It's so pleasant to work with Java when you have environment set up, when you have already all the packages and dependencies in, and when you just write code. I think I might even like it more than C#, but I'm saying it probably way in advance. But the style, man, the style of how you write code in Java, I quite like it. Okay. So we'll have person. No, we'll have fundamentals. New package. So the package name will be edu.csn.fundamentals. Shit. Fundamentals. And we'll have a class called what will we call it? We'll call it person tests. And this class do people write constructor tests in Java? In C#, I guess you could, but people don't really bother. I will though, because I want to be 100% guy. So test. So okay, when creating a person, we don't want to have a person with non-existing name. Like name needs to be defined. Yet if it isn't, we want to complain. So here I will say how is the best way to check if string is null or empty in Java? Because in C# you have a static method for that. Oh no. Yeah, I want this helper library. I'll also create my utils then. Why is this underlined? What's wrong? If, right. Okay, that's cool. Reacts quite fast to my mistakes. So let's create utils. I'll name it better. Primitive helpers. Primitives. Primitives is a great name. And here I'll create string. Yeah. It will clash horribly. Primitives. How to do away with it? Primitives. Primitives. Or actually, I know a better name. Validators. And I'll steal the idea, the library, one library that they used in C# and do it like it did. Basically, a bunch of validations that you commonly use. It's quite cool one. So the thing is called requires, and you'll have a bunch of static methods. Public static. Okay, public static void not null. So you pass in an object, and you pass in its name, and if object is null, you throw argument null. Is it null pointer exception? Is there documentation? If I go in, how do I go in? How do I go in? I don't know. Maybe control click? Yeah, okay. Okay, so that's what I want, yeah. So if object is null, I throw null pointer exception by saying that this object, wait, what? There is no constructor? There has to be a constructor. Name, message. Yes, there is. Message, okay. So if object is null, I throw null pointer exception by passing the parameter argument name. And let's create a bunch of more. Let's yoink this function. Not null or empty. Final string. Why do I pass parameter as final? Because I thought it's like read-only for a class, but what does it make? Java always takes a copy of parameters before sending them to methods. This means the final doesn't mean any difference for the calling call. This only means that inside the method, the variables cannot be reassigned. The attributes of the object. Right. There is a circumstance where you are required to declare it final, otherwise it will result in compile error, namely passing them through it into anonymous classes. Basic example. Really? Final string extension. What would happen if it's allowed to change extension here? What would happen? Removing final modifier would result in compile error because it isn't guaranteed anymore that the value is runtime constant. Changing the value from outside the anonymous class would namely cause the anonymous class instance to behave different after the moment of creation. Why? How could you change this if it's private? Unless it isn't. Java is only passed by value. Right. Therefore, if you change the state of the object, it's reflected to every other variable that's referencing it. But if you are assigning a new object to the argument, the other variables pointing to this object do not get reassigned. Right. I understand that. Before sending them to methods, this means the final doesn't mean any difference for the calling code. This only means that inside the method, the variables cannot be reassigned. It certainly makes a copy. There is an optimization where the compiler doesn't make a copy when there's no difference with making a copy. However, you have to keep in mind that in case of an object, the object really only is a reference to an object. So in case you will get a copy of reference, it really is irrelevant if the parameter's value is a copy of the argument source or the same reference. The fact of the matter is that any variable is just reference to the actual object in memory. Marking a parameter as final prohibits the reassignment of the parameter within the code block of the function. However, if the parameter is not final, although one can reassign the parameter from the past argument to anything else, the caller of the function never loses its reference and continues to point to the same object. Java is passed by value, and keyword final just cares that this object won't be changed by accident within the method. I still don't get why is it special in anonymous class? File filter, create file extension filter. File filter, new file filter, accept file, path name. I don't get it. Let's read this one. The actual parameter argument is fully evaluated and resulting value is copied. Location to hold format parameters. Well, the location is typically a chunk of memory, blah blah blah. Storage differently. The formal parameter merely acts as an alias for the actual parameter. Anytime the method function uses formal parameter for reading, it's actually using the actual parameter. Java strictly pass by value, exactly as in C. Read the Java language specification, it's spelled out. The values of the actual argument expression initialized newly blah blah blah. Okay. In the above values is my emphasis, not theirs. In short, Java has pointers strictly passed by value. Okay. I want to see the final. Whoops. GG doesn't talk about final. Why are only final variables accessible in anonymous class? Yeah, I'm curious. How can I assign A without keeping it as a private member? An effectively final variable can be used in anonymous inner class or lambda expression though. The Java manages closures. When you create an instance of an anonymous inner class, any variables which are used within that class have their values copied. This avoids the compiler having to auto-generate extra types to hold local variables, blah blah blah. As the value has been copied into the instance of an anonymous inner class, it would look odd if the variable could be modified. Making variable final removes all these possibilities, as the values cannot change at all. You don't need to worry about whether such things will be visible. The only ways to allow the method and the anonymous inner class see each other's changes is to use a mutable type of some description. This could be enclosing class itself, an array, a mutable wrapper type, anything like that. Basically, it's like a bit of communicate between one method and another. Changes made to the parameters of one method aren't seen by its caller, but changes made to objects referred to by the parameters are seen. If you're interested in a more detailed comparison between Java and C# clusters, have an article. Oh, nice. Filtering a list. What? List util filter or each item in source if predicate. Okay. Before Java 7 came out, I wanted to write a blog post about the various proposals around closures for Java 7. However, when I started writing that post, I found it was difficult to start off without an introduction to closures. As times went by, the introduction became so long that I feared I'd lose most of my readers before I got to Java 7 bit. I figured it would be worth writing a standalone article about closures in general instead. As it happens, the Java 7 blog post never happened. Most articles about closures are written in terms of functional languages, as they tend to support them best. However, that's also precisely why it's useful to have an article written about how they appear more traditional O languages. Chances are, if you're writing in a functional language, you know what about them already. This article will talk about C# and Java closures. To put it very simply, closures allow you to encapsulate some behavior, pass it around like any other object, and still have access to the context. Okay, so it's a delegate. The code used to filter this list is very straightforward in both languages. Yes. Actually, it's surprisingly exactly the same. Now that we've defined our filtering method, we need to call it. In order to demonstrate the importance of closures, we'll start with simple case, which can be solved without them, and then move on to something harder. List util filter. Yes, in C#2 we have three options. We can use exactly the same code as before, or we can simply vary slightly using the new method group conversions available, or we can use an anonymous method to specify the predicate's logic in line, like this. In C#3, you have all the same options as before, but also lambda expressions. For the purpose of this article, lambda expressions are really just anonymous methods in a concise form. So this is familiar. What about Java? In Java, we don't have to create a delegate. We have to implement an interface. The simplest way to create a new class to implement the interface like this. Okay. Really? That doesn't use any fancy language features, but it does involve a whole separate class just to express one small piece of logic. Following Java conventions, the class is likely to be in a different file, making it harder to read the code which is using it. We could make it a nested class instead, but the logic is still away from the code which uses it. It's a more verbose version of the C# solution effectively. Again, I won't show the nested class version here, but it's downloaded as example. Java does allow code to be expressed in line, however, using anonymous classes. Here is the code in all its glory. Um, yeah, so you say you create an instance of an interface and to implement the method. Interesting. This is all familiar. How does it look like in Java? Again, match string item length, the chance, maximum length of string to include, absolutely uninteresting, and this key part is here, predicate. All right. So you can create anonymous classes like this, which is really cool. I would like to try it out. See what's available. Actions at runnable. Yeah, run. Yeah, or like commands, command pattern. Okay, cool. I see. You do it like this, very object oriented, which isn't a bad thing, but it's a slightly different approach than C# has. Um, Anyways, should we keep it final? Probably. So what's the other benefit of final? The only thing that we cannot do anything with it, right? Like get set. I cannot set anything. So I don't even see a point of it not being fine, like of it being final. Wait, so does this mean that I can set it to something else? But if it was final, I wouldn't be able to set it. I guess overall it's better to add the final keyword just to say, hey, it's cleaner this way. Don't reassign me. Which makes sense. I'll be right back, grab a drink, and make a short 5 minutes break. Okay, I'm back. Let's get some music playing. Back. Okay, it's not in the right place. Albums. Nope. Okay, great. Spotify bugged out. Good. Okay. So if this is null or a trim string is empty, we throw argument exception. Well, I don't want null pointer exception. Probably legal argument exception is better. And I'll say argument well, it's really derp. How do you format? And we pass in argument name. And this is similar. Argument string cannot be null or empty. And the string name is called, I guess I could also call this final. What's the string name? Argument name as well. Okay. Ooh, Java docs don't work, really? Is there any way to generate Java docs? How to write comments for the Java doc tool? I don't care, I think. Equivalent in Java. Comment code. You can use Javadoc plugin in Android. Is there Javadoc plugin? Can I get that from Maven plugins? Yeah, I understand that, but in C#, for example, if you write // it generates the whole notation with summary, arguments, and stuff. But I don't want to, memorize how to write this shit. Or do you write... No. Yeah, in C#. Plugin for generating Javadoc comments, Maven, Javadoc plugin. Okay. Let's steal this. No, I don't want to have project reports. I think I'm looking at the wrong thing. That's not what I want. Maven, no. How to set up to do comment autocomplete? Java comments. Okay. /** enter. Good. That's what I wanted. And yeah, okay. Checks if the string is not null or empty. Throws. Is there a way to link a class like exception? What kind of exception it throws? I probably can steal the docs of other classes and just inspect how they did it. For example, our favorite let's say local date froze. Oh, so it automatically recognizes it? Cool. Cool. Argument name. How do I comment that one? Minus. Returns, it doesn't return anything really. So if it doesn't return anything, do I need a return? Probably not, logically speaking. I just want throws. So it throws, what does it throw? Illegal argument exception. And since it throws, I need to say that it throws. What's wrong? It's underlined. I didn't put a semicolon. No? Insert new. Oh my god, I'm such an idiot. Throws legal argument exception if the string is null or empty. And here checks if the object is not null. Wait, object. Shit, I missed the other param. String. Shit, it's not argument name, it's the string itself. Thermal Man, could you explain me why wouldn't I want to use final in method declaration? Because I don't want people to change arguments inside the function almost ever. That's bad practice overall. So do people normally put final in an argument declaration? Also, I read that in Java 8 and so on forth, it's implicit. Like, you don't need to even bother. So I would put, like, this is the right way. This is the thing that you would see, right? Because I also find it useful. But I also got confused because Java 8 has it implicit. So why would I put it if it's implicit anyways? Because I definitely don't want to change anything with that. So you would do it like this. Give me a moment. Java final in variable keyword in parameters. This one is that I read. Maybe I misread something. Never mind. Something Java 8 I read though. Okay. Sorry, never mind. Okay. Then yeah, I'll add it almost always then. So you can also use not null notation with some extensions, so you don't put if not null in method body. Okay. Do I need a plugin for that or something? I'm okay. Yesterday was a tiresome day, but today is going to be a more fun day because no more configuration bullshit with JS6, and I can just enjoy the language and just not configure stuff other than trivial dependencies edition. So this day is going to be a fun day. Going to learn a whole bunch of Java. And what about you? Nice. So I wouldn't need even those. Huh? Is there something like that would also validate not none, null? Valid? It doesn't work for some reason. Should not be null. Not null. And I add it before the type. What am I missing? Oh, annotations. Maven Dependency. So, nothing on their own. They're supposed to act as documentation tools. But they're documentation tools. Hey, is it really just a warning or is it an actual validation? Yeah, if it's... Oh, okay. Let's go to POM and add the dependency. Next to Lombok. So you're saying this is something of Lombok. What's that? I mean, I did that in here. Oh, Maven Dependency. Fuck my life. Mockito. JavaX. I'd say it's this one. And probably build. So this actually does... Okay, I want to see the other things that it could do. Because I don't want to not null, I want more. You said valid. It should be from Lombok. Because I'm not sure which exact library you're talking about. Non-null. Okay. So let's undo a bunch of times. Yes, undo. It's not null, it's non-null. Oh, okay. I'm not going to add Spring Framework for sure. So, shit. Okay, let's test it. Let's test it then. Person tests, test. Void new given when null name throws illegal argument exception, was it? What does it throw? Or it won't ever let me even create a person like that. I forgot the syntax. Global new person null. It lets, okay, 1 and 2. So assert that thrown has message containing throws. Null pointer exception. Type. Has message containing null. YOLO. Instance of MP. I'll fix it some. Wait, what? Cannot find symbol get result. What do you mean? Java modify static not allowed here. You don't have static classes, only static methods? Okay. Static inner classes. Okay. So you're saying to throw instance off? Is instance off? is instance of null pointer exception. Why the fuck? What's wrong with this? Is instance of class. Type? No. I mean, why is generic not working? Do I have a method? What was it? Instance of. Nope. Assert is instance of. Assert J, I mean. Oh. Assert that from by is instance of. Assert J. Okay. Throw. Assert that from by. Assert that. Has message. Has message. Get root cause has message. Assert that exception of type. Jeez. Assert that exception of type. you pass in exception class, and that class is null pointer exception is thrown by thrown. So what's the type? I don't know myself. Action. That swing. Oh shit. Is thrown by accepts what? What do you accept? Throwing callable. Throwing callable. Shit, I don't get it. No. Cast, I don't want to cast. Thrown. Here we go. Is thrown by. Is thrown by. It's quite ugly. Thrown. Throw. Fuck. Row. I need brackets. Okay, does this pass? Okay. Anyways, I like the null checks. The null checks are good, but for null or empty, I will use the extension method I wrote. That's cool though. Yeah, I'll use the extension method I wrote. So requires string requires fuck confusion. Let's also try to practice with a nested class, because this is a decent case. Public static class string, because I'm doing validations for a string, and I hope that if I have a nested class, it won't really clash. So basically, what I'm saying is that here, I say requires string, not null or empty, and I pass in the name, and I say that's name. And what's wrong? So it thinks I'm passing itself? Okay. That sucks. Okay. So I first validate the name. Let's say it's a more advanced validation. I don't care. But it needs to be tested. So let's write some tests. Fundamentals. I can't believe how great it is learning Java through testing. It's really good way, I think. Because you learn tests and you learn the language because you need the language in order to write the tests. Validators. And I have requires dot requires dot string dot that dot string. That's all. And let's have the class. Sorry, what the fuck am I doing? It's supposed to be validators, that's all. Not requires, just validators. Already exists. Okay, it just changed. So requires string tests. Test. Void. Hello, Mark Bouvier. Mark Bouvier, sorry for butchering your name. So let's think. Not null or empty when not null or empty string returns does not throw. So that's easy. I basically say final string, or just var input is a, and I say requires string not null or empty input, and throwable. Something throw. I always forget that syntax, so annoying. Assert that catch throwable. Yes. Thrown. Not thrown. Assert that exception. Fuck. Assert that thrown has message containing right, there's input input input. Oops. Assert that thrown message. Assert that thrown has message containing argument name. Okay. So wait. There is no message. So assert that thrown does not throw any exception, is what I meant. So argument name is irrelevant in this case. Absolutely relevant. And this one will be parameterized. And I like that there was a pattern. Those patterns, I'm really now curious if XUnit supports that. You can. No, that's JUnit. XUnit. There is an issue. Yeah, I've never seen anyone naming it, so it's actually quite... Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I mean, in Java you can. In C#, no. At least not as far as I know. No. I think I have already that. You don't even need this plane. You have just this. Because like in here, you see if I run this calculator test. Shit, I made a mistake somewhere. Is already defined, right? I forgot to comment it. Okay. Fuck. Control this project. Look, if I run this one, it comes up. Fucking hell. Clashes with a class of the same name. Oh shit. How come this one doesn't? Educe async calculators. Educe async calculators. Because I shouldn't have imported that package. Is why. I think. No? Oh. You're right. You're right, you're right, you're right. This is how it was supposed to be. Okay, thanks. So I wanted to show this one. Here's the name. I mean, a very simple test. So if I run it, you can see like 0 minus 1 is minus 1, 0 minus 0 is 0, 0 minus minus 1 is 1, 0 minus maximum is that. Like, it's very readable, the tests are. But, you know, in C# you cannot do that. That's why I'm very disappointed in C#. I'm discovering good things about Java, bad things about Java, some things that I wish C# had. It's quite cool. So requires string. Yeah, Java enums. I heard people talking about them being superior to C# enums because C# enums are just basically a collection of named variables. The only powerful feature that C# enums have is pipes. Not pipes, but like, you know, you can combine them like this. But that's all. That's the best thing about them. I don't know about Java. Okay. So it's okay. How do I uncomment? Is it also Control K? Control, yeah, it is. Okay. So parameterize test, and I want CSV input. Source. Source a, yeah, like literal array. Wait, I don't want CSV source. I want actually, yeah, CSV is okay. What's the formatting? Yeah. Start like that. So I want null. Maybe null won't work. Okay, I'll use instead member something. Method source. Can I have null in CSV source? Will it work? It will. Okay. White space. White space. But I want... No, I want a distinction. I want white space. I want empty space. And I want null. I want all three of those. Because it works differently for each. Member... Fucking hell. I have a fish memory, as you can see. Yeah, yeah. So get what do we get? Get invalid, get null or empty string. It was stream of, I don't remember what, of arguments. Oh god, I don't remember the syntax. And then normal, okay. Stream of, okay. And you just chain it. Stream off. And you comma separate everything. Okay. Null. And this one should be below the other one. Okay. I guess I could close it like this. So we have an empty string, a string with white space, and null string. And this is our input. String. Input. And argument name is input. So given input and argument name, it should throw assert that assert that of exception of type thrown. And this one is a bit cancer to me. I don't like the syntax. So I take the class illegal argument exception class, and then I need to is thrown by, and then I need to do the lambda, the horrible lambda, thrown. I fucked up something. Is thrown by, thrown. Is thrown by, thrown. What did I do wrong? I see. Like this. Assert that is thrown by contains with message containing arg name. And that should do. Run. Possible configuration error. Method resulted in multiple test descriptors. This is typically the result of annotation of a method with multiple annotations. So parameterize test. Method source. Because I have test and parameterize test, don't I? Cannot invoke non-static method. On null target. Non-static? It is static. Oh, this needs to be static, doesn't it? This one. Yeah, okay. Hello. Argument array must not be null. Okay, so I need to explicitly create a new object array that has null. Is that how you do in Java? Yay, good. So expecting null pointer exception to be a legal argument exception. You have the same situation as me? How come? I enjoy Java decently because I'm a very object-oriented person. So it's fitting to me. Okay. I am not forced by anything. I'm just being very opportunist actually. So I have a job offer to work as a part-time Java coding instructor, but teaching fundamentals. and teaching basics like clean code, test-driven development, object-oriented programming, solid principles, best practices and stuff. And I'm very good at those. Maybe I have non-null annotation somewhere. I think I do. No, wait. Doesn't look like it. We can debug actually, so. Oh shit. Shit. I'm an idiot. Confusion. Where's the continue button? Step out. Here we go. And where's the continue button? Drop frame, maybe that one. Oh, here. Resume, okay. So, if argument name, oh guys, look. If argument name is null, that was supposed to be if string is null. Or string trim is empty. It has nothing to do with argument name. That's why. Tests that actually caught a bug. Here we go. How would you recommend describing such a test, or is there a technique describing those tests? Because it would be nice. Is there a technique? You see the tests appear as empty because that was the input. That was an empty string. So would you leave it as this, as it was clear enough, like not null or empty when not null or empty string? Not null or empty when null or empty string. Froze. You see, this is the test name, but is there a way to describe input better? Like explicitly saying it's an empty string, it's a white space string, it's a null string or something, I don't know. Or would you bother, would you not bother in real environment? Naming the test input. Not null or empty when not null or empty. Throws illegal argument exception. I'll try to name it and see if this looks good. 0. So 0. Can I do an if statement in here? Is it possible to do something like to take this as input to another function or do something based on it, or is it just okay? I'm stupid. I'll do it like I think I know. I'll try to do it the way I understand it. Maybe there is another parameter. I'm not sure. What's the index arguments with names? Maybe another field and argument method? Argument method. Oh, in method argument. Oh. Right. Arguments of. Arguments of. Yeah. It's, it's the last one, so I cannot really, like, it's designed to be last. So there isn't anything that I could add. But anyways, I know a way, I think. Your test will have test string input name. Oh, you mean that? But then it kind of blows up the documentation of the test. Like the input for a test is something more than just what it needs to work. So it's probably not worth it. And this needs to be constant, right? What I pass as okay, we can try. And this one, now that I have two elements, I can definitely just write this. Null string. Explanation. Explanation, so 1. I'd say. I guess like this would be for completion's sake. Yeah. So what do you think about this? Thrown. Maybe. Yeah. Yeah. But could I change anything? Like here. Could I I mean I can pass 0, but that will still be this. That's literally what the default is. It defaults to that. But there is only one input. Why would I add 2? Yeah. But can I grab this and convert it to something? Is it compile constant? It definitely isn't compile constant. Can I just... If arg return null string, else if arg dot trim fucking hell string trim is empty, yeah, it's not worth it. I'm just playing around right now. White space. Let's see. Display name generator. Generation. And what does it expect? Class expense display name generator that gets value. So hi. Obviously not. Replace underscores class. How come static class can extend to another class? That's confusing as fuck for a C# developer. For nested class. For method. Hmm. Okay. In C#, static means that it cannot implement an interface or inherit a class. It means that, yeah, you cannot really do anything with it. Just use the methods from it. So I need to extend those 3 methods. Maybe I just need to extend the one that I want, which is for method. Okay, let's try it. Just for the shits and giggles. The shits and giggles. Static class. Display name generator. Replace underscores. Yeah, I think so too. Display name generator. Simple. And I'll call it name a string. String namer, because it's a noun. For method, test class, method, test method, name, test class, test method, get name. So all I want is this one. Actually, no, I don't want for method. I want for the inputs. Oh, value source. That's much more simple. That's what I'm thinking. For nested class, I guess it isn't even supported for input. Fuck it. Too much effort for too little value. And I think this can be refactored a bit, because I saw value source. Value source. Strings. And is better, I think. Is there... Fuck. Are you serious? For that one thing it's all breaking? Fuck me. Jeez. Jeez. good enough. String of null. Are you serious? String of null? String of null. What the fuck? Let's comment this. String value? Oh god. Value source. Strings. String value of null. Nope. It's not constant, so it's the same thing. I'll have to do away with that one. Yeah. Okay. Can I, so if I say name is equal to, is it also compile constant? Like I must pass a template, or can I take the 0? Yeah, it doesn't work. Fuck. Hey, I know. Hey, I know. Look, I can do this. And this will be clear. Look, this is great. This is smart. Yeah. Something like that. This is good. This is awesome. Finally. Wow. Oh, look at that. So cool. Awesome. Now it's understandable and not, just empty lines. Wow, cool. Yay. And value strings, null source. TN. It's not the same thing though. Like the last two values are still white space string. It's like trailing white space. It's not really null. It's tab and empty line symbols. But yeah, love it. Awesome. I must share this in my community. At null source. Ooh. Ooh, you're genius. You're genius. Value source. Yeah, oh, nice. So, yeah. Does it work? Annotation values must be in the form of name equals value. What? Strings. True. Okay. strings, right? Oh. I'll read what you linked. Null source, empty source, value source. At null source. Braces. That's right. Holy shit, that's so good. I love this. I wouldn't be able to do this in C#. Must share my discoveries. Yeah, it's so readable. It's so damn readable. Awesome. I'm a really big fan of writing self-documenting tests and code that speaks for itself. I'm a big fanatic of clean code. So having a result like this is really something that is worth fighting for. And Java excels in that. It really cares about naming, which is really good. So parameterize tests in Java is the same as in C#. This is exactly the same. This is exactly the same, except that you don't need to write braces. Living documentation book. I'm adding it to my notes. Thanks. I read Clean Code by Robert C. Martin. I also read Code Complete. I don't remember the author. I also read XUnit Test Patterns. I haven't read Headfirst Design Patterns, but I have studied them thoroughly quite a lot. What else have I read from? And DDD. I haven't read anything, but I have read a lot. Onion architecture, DDD, stuff like that. Yeah, so good. I really hope that they would add something like this in C# someday. This is awesome. Okay, I'll make a break now, grab something to eat, make lunch. So I'll be back roughly in roughly an hour. So thanks for those who are watching, and see you in a bit. I'll be streaming the whole day, by the way, so like at least 10 more hours. Thanks. Bye bye.